All right, so thank you for the latest tallies across the globe over the past 24 hours. Now, for a closer look at COVID-19 related news here and elsewhere, Seong-woo joins me in the studio. Seong-woo, welcome.
Happy to be here.
Right, let's start on the local front now. I hear the mandatory quarantine period for Omicron patients may be shortened. Seong-woo, tell us more.
Well, it's still under review, Sunny, but officials are considering a reduction in the number of days that Omicron patients must spend in self-isolation. From 14 days to 11, the same length as Delta variant infections. This comes after health authorities conducted studies and discovered that the transmission period of the new variant is no different from the original COVID-19 strain or other mutations, which is about 10 days. The reduction may come as early as January. The tentative plan falls in line with the government decision to lower its COVID-19 alert level from very high to high in regions outside the capital area, now that cases are declining. Seoul and the surrounding areas, as well as the nation as a whole, remain at very high. But the recent drop in infections is raising hopes the government on Friday may decide not to extend the current restrictions, but rather shift back to its phased return to normal.
Now, that song would be a welcome shift, of course. Beyond our borders, I hear that the Omicron outbreak is becoming quite rampant. Tell us more.
It is very rampant. Europe is under siege. There's no better way to put it, really. Now that it's become the dominant COVID-19 strain in several countries. British Health Minister Sajid Javid says the Omicron variant now accounts for 90% of all cases in England.
It shows you just how quickly it has spread. We have had news in recent days that it's milder. Now, that in itself isn't good news enough. That's good news, but we know that it spreads very rapidly, so we have to set that news against that.
Denmark on Monday reported over 15,000 new cases for the first time since the start of the pandemic, with some 16,000 infections. And in response, it has closed movie theaters, concert halls, while restricting business hours for restaurants and bars. In Iceland, meanwhile, which had never seen daily infections top 200 until the middle of this month, 672 new cases were reported. In the Mediterranean, Greece saw its daily tally reach an all-time high of nearly 10,000 cases, prompting the government to impose new antivirus curbs, including midnight closures for venues serving alcohol for 2 weeks starting January, and attendance caps at sports arenas. Meanwhile, over in Australia, daily cases there surged past the 10,000 mark for the first time ever.
Right, for the first time ever. So how are global health experts responding to this latest rebound across the globe?
Well, in the U.S., top U.S. infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci says the trend will likely continue for the time being. In an interview with CNN, Fauci predicted America's situation may eventually get better, like South Africa, but advised people to avoid large gatherings on New Year's Eve. As we all know, Dr. Fauci is a strong advocate of booster shots, something health experts in other countries also believe is the only way out of this crisis. But I'll be explaining that a little later.
Right, so I'll come back to you for the booster shot